Hey Yeg Nation, welcome to Ward 10 here with Miss Samantha Hees. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You bet. So tell us a little bit about yourself and why you chose to run in the election.
I chose to run in the election after buying my first home. I ran into some roadblocks that are city issues, such as lack of groceries and access to food within the communities that we all live in, as well as accessible transit and the proposed cuts with the new Transit 2.0, as well as access to affordable housing within mature neighborhoods. And I know that mature neighborhoods emptying out due to newer neighborhoods and lower prices south of the city is a huge issue, and I think that by putting these things back into the mature neighborhoods, we can actually promote growth right where people already live.
Absolutely, and those are all very exciting things to talk about. So what, with those points, there are obviously a lot of things that are important to young Edmontonians because they affect a lot of young Edmontonians. What are some other things that you're doing to help engage with the younger Edmontonians and relay a couple of those issues?
Totally. I myself am a young Edmontonian. I'm 29 and I just bought my first home, so I think that I am within that demographic of people who are very worried about the prices and the infrastructure of the city being geared towards the south, having to buy a car. Food is expensive, cars are expensive, and now homes are expensive, and I think that younger Edmontonians really want to be engaged in the political process, but are finding it hard because they don't either have the dollars or the access to the city councillors or know really how to get involved. So I'm trying to do lots of events where we're getting out and talking to people. Edmonton Next Gen's been really great with that, and same with Yeg Nation. And I think that the city can do a better job of getting to where people actually are. So I mean, having a meeting at a school on a weeknight is great, but what about the people who work shift work or who are servers or who work in the evening? I think we should be going to where our residents actually gather in the first place. So hockey arenas, city pools, restaurants, talking to people at the mall. I mean, the mall has hundreds of people who live in this ward in it, I'm sure right now. And I think that by ensuring that we're getting the younger voice as well, we're going to help build an Edmonton that's going to be good for generations to come.
That's awesome. Those are, again, very exciting things to talk about.
Yes.
So with that, again, another thing that we like to talk about with YG Nation, of course, is the gender and cultural diversity here. As a female candidate, have you seen some roadblocks that maybe you didn't foresee going into the election?
Oh, absolutely. I think that one of the things that I've noticed is the ageism and the sexism. I have been forced to kind of just brush it off. I think I have a lot of people I have a lot of people coming up to me at forums and saying, oh, you're too young to run for city council, and you're very young, and you're not quite as knowledgeable as your male counterparts, which is fair. I mean, some of them are 20 years older than me, but I think that I bring a lot in fresh perspective, and by just brushing those comments off and proving myself, I think it's going to be a lot more constructive than maybe meeting it head on.
Absolutely. Those are the most important thing too. And I mean, we see that too with us doing young things, right? We want to make sure that just because we're the young guys doesn't mean we're the underdogs. And doesn't mean you're wrong. That's even more important. So with that here, if you can tell the Yeg Nation here a little bit about what you want to achieve with City Council.
Absolutely. With City Council, I really want to see us start doing public engagement with people who want to be engaged. I mean, I don't know that many young people who don't want a say in the city that they live in. And I think that Mayor John Ivison's done a really good job of pushing that, encouraging people to stay in Edmonton by investing in infrastructure like transit, like job programs, like training programs. And the city does a really good job of that already, but I think that we could be doing better. I think that we could be introducing young people to civic politics, and by talking to them about it in schools, by going to some of our world-class educational institutions like the U of A, like Northwest, like MacEwan, and I think that people who are there are already learning about these things, and I think that if we push that further, we can create the leaders of tomorrow.
Right, and that's awesome because we want to definitely see a lot more younger people out voting. So with Ward 10, tell us a little bit about what Ward 10 has to offer the city and what you see happening in Ward 10, a little bit different than other places in the city.
Well, Ward 10 is very lucky. We already have the infrastructure of transit, and the city works very hard to maintain that. I mean, we have Century Park, Southgate, and South Campus within the ward, as well as a large part of the University Farm, and we have a lot of great mature neighborhoods that already have the infrastructure and that we can learn from in the future for our newer neighborhoods like Bearspaw and south of the Henday, when they encounter problems that have already happened north of the Henday. So I think that Ward 10 is a great place because we do have a mixture of old and new, and we are really trying to grow and learn from our mistakes.
Absolutely. So with that here and with wrapping up here, do you have anything that you'd like to tell the viewers of Yeg Nation?
Well, thank you for being informed, and we'll see you at the polls on October 16th.
At the polls October 16th. Guys, advanced voting is open now. Check out where it is in your area. We'll make sure to post up some links to the Edmonton website so you guys can check out those polls. And guys, go and vote. Like we've been telling you guys, we keep talking about vote. It's the most important thing in the world. This is Yeg Nation. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.